In military aviation, aircraft have officially designated names and nicknames. For example, the F-16 is known as the Viper, the F-4 is called the Phantom II, and the B-52 is known as the Stratofortress. These planes also have names given to them by their pilots. The F-4, for instance, is often referred to as the Flying Brick or Old Smoky, while B-52 pilots call their planes Buff, meaning big, ugly, fat fellow. Some aircraft, however, receive their nicknames from their enemies. Among these is the P-38 Lightning, one of the top-scoring fighters of World War II, known by its enemies as the Fork-tailed Devil. Welcome to Extraordinary Aviation Designs. In this video, we'll be talking about the P-38 Lightning, an aircraft that made significant contributions during World War II, particularly in the North African and Pacific theaters. It was also instrumental in avenging the Pearl Harbor attack by downing Admiral Yamamoto. In the 1930s, the potential of bomber aircraft was recognized in military aviation, and many advanced models were developed. However, most interceptor aircraft capable of countering these high-altitude bombers were not up to the task. As a result, the U.S. Army Air Corps, then part of the U.S. Army, called on aviation companies to design a twin-engine, high-altitude interceptor. The winning firm would receive a contract worth $163,000. Lockheed took a significant risk, investing $820,000, and far beyond the project's budget, into developing the aircraft. One of the key members of the design team was Kelly Johnson, a young and promising engineer who would later design famous aircraft like the U-2 and SR-71. This team worked outside the Lockheed factory to prevent competitors from stealing their ideas, marking the beginnings of Skunk Works. They aimed to create a plane that could perform high-altitude dogfights, undertake long-range escort missions, and carry powerful weapons to neutralize enemy aircraft. After several calculations and wind tunnel tests, Lockheed decided on a design featuring two separate fuselages, one for each engine, and a central teardrop-shaped cockpit. To meet the Army's speed and altitude requirements, they chose two supercharged 12-cylinder Allison V710 engines, each capable of producing 1,000 horsepower. These powerful engines enabled the P-38 to exceed the desired maximum speed by a significant margin. Unusually for its time, the aircraft was equipped with a nose-wheel landing gear instead of a tail wheel, making takeoffs and landings much easier for the pilot. The design was accepted by the Army in 1937, and the prototype, named XP-38, made its first flight on January 27, 1939. The aircraft was not only praised for its speed and capabilities, but also for its impressive armament. It carried four 12.7mm machine guns and a 20mm cannon mounted just in front of the pilot. Later versions could also carry up to a ton of bombs or rockets beneath the fuselage. After nearly 30,000 modifications, the final production version was ready, just as Germany invaded Poland, sparking World War II. With war underway, the US ordered more P-38s. Although the UK also placed an order, the US refused to share key technologies such as the supercharged engines with the British, leading to the cancellation of the order. However, the nickname Lightning stuck with the P-38. As production continued, the United States entered the war, and the P-38 saw its first combat on August 15, 1942, during an attack on German planes targeting American supply convoys en route to England. This marked the first air battle won by American forces in the war. Shortly afterward, the Lightning was sent to North Africa to fight against Rommel's Afrika Korps, which sought to seize British supply routes and oil fields. The P-38 also began flying over Europe, escorting bombers on missions to bomb Germany. In both theaters, the P-38 quickly earned its fearsome reputation as the Fork-tailed Devil, particularly for its success in low-altitude dogfights and its devastating ground attacks after bomber escorts were safely away. German airfields and supply depots were frequent targets. After achieving great success in Europe and North Africa, the P-38 took on an even more prominent role in the Pacific theater. Its long range made it ideal for patrol and support missions, and it was also used for aerial reconnaissance, providing critical intelligence for operations in the vast ocean regions. One of the P-38's most famous missions in the Pacific was the interception and shooting down of Admiral Yamamoto, the mastermind behind the Pearl Harbor attack. In April 1943, U.S. Navy intelligence intercepted encrypted Japanese communications, revealing Yamamoto's travel plans to the Solomon Islands. On April 18th, 18 P-38s took off from a base 650 kilometers away, flying at an altitude of just 15 meters to avoid detection by Japanese radar. After a 2-hour flight, they intercepted Yamamoto's plane over Bougainville Island, successfully carrying out the mission. The attack dealt a heavy blow to Japanese morale while boosting American spirits. Although fewer P-38s were produced compared to other American aircraft, it became the highest-scoring U.S. fighter in the Pacific Theater, especially against Japanese aircraft. Pilots who flew the P-38 often described it as a plane that flies like a monster, stings like a bee, and lands like a butterfly. Over 10,000 Lightning aircraft were produced in various models until 1945. As jet fighters began to enter service late in the war, the P-38 was gradually retired. Like its name, the P-38 Lightning made a significant impact during its relatively short service life, earning a well-deserved place in aviation history. Thank you for watching Extraordinary Aviation Designs. If you found this video helpful, please like and share it. You can support our channel by clicking the thank you button or becoming a member. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our videos on the most extraordinary aircraft in aviation history.